let's get this show on the road. Getting down. Getting the stream set up for today. Anyone who jumps in now, thank you very much. No one's here yet, but that's okay. Starting a little early. Hey Jay, how's it going? Just starting the stream up right now, making sure there's no issues, no problems. Hello, gentlemen. Thanks for coming into the stream. Just making sure everything's going good right now. Apologies for anyone who came into the stream last week and it got cut off mid-stream. Yep, you are, Jay. There was an issue. My machine locked up, and it was kind of ugly. Machine locked up, stream went down, I was able to recover. So if anything happens in the stream, just simply stick around. I know how to recover from it if it does happen again. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the Toys R Us closing. Oh, okay, cool. We'll talk a little bit about the Toys R Us closing situation I talked about in the video put out on Sunday, and then we'll do some Q&A because I have never done Q&A yet. I've always talked about doing Q&A. We'll do that shortly. I'm going to talk about Toys R Us for maybe 5 minutes or so. I don't want to go into a big discussion about it, since if you haven't seen the video yet, definitely take a look at it. I went into a bit about it, so I just want to give everyone some time to come in here. Thanks for everyone who jumps in. Hopefully we can get at least 8 to 10 people in the stream. That'd be kind of cool. I think the most I've had so far in the streams were 8. I think that's what it was. And if you guys are curious, it is Venom Energy Drink time. Some black cherry kiwi, 99 cents. Not a bad deal. And no, they're not sponsoring me. I just wanted to get a drink. So we'll give it another minute or two, then I'll actually start the stream up, talk about the Toys R Us stuff, and we'll go for some Q&A stuff as well. Hopefully some more people jump into the stream. I lost a sub. That's okay. That does happen now and again. I'm not too concerned. If they don't want to watch my channel, they're more than welcome to unsubscribe. What are we at? We're at 2 minutes till. Cool. All right. Everything. How's the mic sounding? Let me know what you guys think. Is it okay? Too loud? Not loud enough? Hit me up in the chat. Awesome. Keep my eye on the internet. Make sure the internet does not drop. I don't want that to happen again. That would be a very bad thing. Alright, so we're going to get going right now. Everybody else is more than welcome to jump into the stream. So here we go, guys. Thank you guys for coming into my stream. This is, of course, the 3rd stream I've done. I'm really happy about the turnouts I've been getting on it. Usually between 7 and 8 people are in here for at least 20 minutes, give or take. This is going to be about an hour-long stream. I'm thinking it might run a little shorter, depending on how much questions you guys throw at me and that sort of jam. So let's actually talk a little bit about what I talked about on Sunday, as I said a second ago, was the unfortunate, looks to be, closing of Toys R Us. There was supposed to have been some news that should have dropped today. They had their bankruptcy court hearing, but I have not yet heard anything from Forbes, from CNN, or from USA Today, which is where I basically got all my news from. I get it from credible sources, from accounted, well-established articles that are telling real information. Cool, cool. It's a good pop, actually. I've not yet gotten my hands on the black and gold one. So what basically it looks like to be is they were not able to restructure, meaning Toys R Us was not able to restructure their debt. They're in debt big time. I heard rumors, and just take this with a pinch of salt, I heard it was in the billions, with a B, not an M, a B. They're in billions in debt, which is kind of sad because Mattel and Hasbro make up about 15% of all their business, meaning, actually, besides them, Toys R Us makes 15% of all their business. Cool. They make about 15% of all toy sales, which is what Toys R Us does. And unfortunately, Mattel and Hasbro could be hit pretty hard. I know their stock prices did plummet, because of the whole bankruptcy stuff going on. So it is unfortunate. Now, they originally had what was called a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which basically means they're going to restructure all of their debt, and they're going to try to basically accommodate their creditors. The creditors. Unfortunately, they could not. 6 people in the stream. Thank you guys for coming in. They were just talking a little bit right now about Toys R Us. And then we're going to switch over to QnA. So basically, they were originally what was called a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Debt. Debt, gentlemen, that seems to be the biggest problem. They're so far in debt, they cannot pay their creditors back. That's what's leading to their problem. They're so far in debt right now. I don't know if it's upper management, mismanagement, just they didn't know what they were doing. That has not really been discussed or let out in the public. So it is unfortunate what's going on here. The big corporate bigwigs probably getting, multi-million-dollar salaries, and the smaller stores are getting screwed now, unfortunately, which hurts everybody across the board. Get a drink. So that's what's happening. So what they're going to do now is, if they weren't able to restructure their debt, or yeah, exactly, they weren't able to restructure their debt. 5 people in stream, cool. They weren't able to restructure their debt or get a lender. A lender would be someone who would be able to buy out their debt. Unfortunately, they could not get that, or could not get anything, at least in the 11th hour, from what they've been telling people, at least what has been leaked out so far. Again, some of this information comes from hearsay, but I've gotten credible sources. Like I said, the big, reputable publications like CNN and USA Today are well-established publications. So what they're probably going to be doing is shifting what's called a Chapter 11 bankruptcy into what's called a Chapter 7. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy, so if anyone's not familiar, is a liquidation of assets. Meaning to take all of your assets to try to pay off the creditors, the ones that have the biggest stake in the debt. And they try to liquidate everything to pay off the creditors. Anything left would go to the next set of creditors, so forth and so on. That's what they're in the bankruptcy court for right now. That's what they're in the process for. But no word has been leaked out as far as has been dropped on Forbes. They're talking about them closing, but nothing was said, at least today, as far as the bankruptcy court goes. Don't know yet. That was originally the 180 stores were supposed to be closing in April. There was a Toys R Us by me that which doesn't make any sense, where I asked an actual worker there about the actual closure, and I was told, well, they may or may not close depending on their landlord. I'm like, well, what does your landlord have to do with anything? They're trying to negotiate rent. Your landlord has no stake in your business. The landlord has a stake in what you're paying for rent. So I don't know what this rep was talking about. I don't know if they're trying to negotiate. I don't know what they are trying to do, but that's probably incorrect. So I want everyone to know currently what is going on, at least from the Toys R Us perspective. It is a shame, because when I was actually collecting, when I was much, much younger, if anyone is not sure, we have 3 people in chat. Thank you guys for sticking around. Hopefully more people come in. When I was actually much younger, I'm actually 43 now, if you guys were not aware. They originally had, back in those days, you had really 2 big toy stores. You had Playworld and you had Toys R Us. Those were the 2 real big toy stores back in the day. Then you had KB, which was another type of toy store, which is usually in malls. That's where they were mostly housed. That's where they're mostly at. Yeah, I didn't notice the sticker. I know the Flocked one went up. I didn't actually take a look at it today yet. I know it's up right now, though. So yeah, those were the big toy stores back then. Now, out of all the toy stores that have collapsed, only Toys R Us was the only one the big box retail stores that is still alive, which is Toys R Us, which hopefully they'll stick around, but I'm not going to hold my breath, so I don't think they're actually going to right now. So that's it for basically Toys R Us. I didn't want to go into a lot of whole detail. It's been about 5 minutes, which is what I was expecting to do. Hopefully some more people jump into the chat later. Currently we have 3 people watching. Thank you guys for being in chat. So let's actually talk Q&A. I'm opening up the floor to you guys. Hit me with whatever you want me to talk about. Whatever's in your mind, lay it on me. Keep the content PG-13 at least, in case there's kids in here. So let's keep the content sort of clean, please. The floor is yours, guys. Hit me up. Hit me up in chat. What's my real name? I'd rather not give it out, Jay, just to keep my anonymity. I use Rook. I've used it in a lot of video games. Mainly mobile games is where I took the name Rook from. I used it in other, I used other names online. I used to do some PS4 stuff. I was Maniac Apex on PS4. Favorite beverage. I've been steering clear from a lot of soda stuff. I've been trying to cut my weight down, try to cut back on sugars, but I will get, let's say, Venom drinks, which are these guys here. I will get maybe Monster Energy drinks, usually in the morning. Usually those are 0 calories. Most of the Venom stuff I usually get would be 0 calories as well. I try to keep the calories as low as I possibly can. I'll hit you guys up with this right now. When I was talking in the Toys R Us video, I mentioned going back and getting the Gypsy Avenger, which is this guy right here. This is a Bandai-based product, which is what I was talking about. This guy is $20 US. Pretty good deal on this guy. I was really happy to get this one. This is not NECA. This is Bandai. This is a highly detailed, highly articulated collectible. It's about, I would say, probably either in a 6 or 7 inch scale. But this was much more detailed, much more articulation than the original Gypsy Danger that we saw for NECA. Thank you guys for coming into the chat, who just jumped in. We're just doing some Q&A right now. Anything else? Hit me up. Apple juice I'm okay with. As long as it's not sugar-free apple juice. That's where it gets, yeah. I also like tomato juice, V8, as long as that's not sugar-free, because it tastes horrible sugar-free. Hey, Nick, how's it going, sir? We're doing some Q&A right now. If you have any Q&As, just type it in the chat, please. I'll start up a couple here, because we have 7 people in chat. Awesome. I love me some A&W. Love me some A&W. Favorite pop. Hey, Ultimate, how's it going? Favorite pop, which is what I was going to talk about now. Hello, Blues. How's it going, sir? Favorite pop is a hard question for me. I would say my favorite pop, probably the first ones I got, which were the Big Bang Theory pops. That actually got me into Funko, the original 4 of them. Hello, Keen. Glad to see you in the chat. Yeah, so, I mean, the original 4 guys for Big Bang Theory, which was Leonard, Sheldon, Howard, and Raj, which was my original pops I purchased. I wasn't even a big fan of Funko at that time. I saw them, I thought they would look really, really cool, and I said, you know what, these look really neat, I like how they look, and mind you guys, this was about 4 or 5 years ago when I started collecting Funko. I knew nothing about the collectability aspect of the actual Funko products themselves. I didn't know. I was a complete novice. I knew nothing about it. I took the boxes and I chucked them. You're going to say, Rook, why did you do that? Again, I had no clue. I like keeping the boxes as well as keeping a pop. In my opinion, the box is as important as the pop itself. Favorite Avenger Infinity War pop? I got to go with Hulkbuster. So far, from what I've seen, the Hulkbuster looks to be the best. I don't like the new Iron Man one. I don't like the goofy pose he's in. I think he looks horrible. Okay. If you have to bail, no problem, Jay. That's cool, man. I just was not a fan of the Iron Man with the hand-out cannon and the weird flight pose. It just looks really, really weird. I don't like the pose. I like that he has something sticking out and like the cannon. No problem, Jay. Take care, man. Thanks for coming into the chat. You'll be able to get the VOD of it when it goes up. I like the hand cannon when it comes out, but that was, you know, I didn't like anything about that. I talked about it before, the Thanos for the Infinity War, I don't think is good because I wish he had his helmet on. I think they took it with the helmet off because they wanted to keep, I can't remember the actor's name now. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Yep, I hear you, Cowboy. I talked about that a couple minutes ago. Definitely check it out on the VOD when the video goes up. Yep. The Thanos, the way he looks is cool as far as his pose. I wish he had the helmet. I'm thinking the helmet might be maybe a Hot Topic exclusive or some type of exclusive. I wish they did. Yeah, I like some horror pops. I do actually have some. I'll talk about that in a sec because he brought that up. But that they are coming out with a 10-inch Thanos. Again, I do wish they would have had the helmet. I know they're coming out with a Thanos Marvel Legends figure in Walmart. It's a Walmart exclusive. Has 2 heads. He has 2 different hands. He has one hand with the Infinity Gauntlet, one without it. Collector's Core. Also about Collector's Core. We'll talk about that in a second as well, since you just brought it up, Nick. My Green Lantern box was lost. My GL box was lost. I've been going back and forth with Funko to get a replacement box. They are shipping me one out. I'm going to do it on a stream, is what I'm thinking about I'm going to do. I'm going to do a stream opening whenever I get that box for the GL box. So I'm going to do an unboxing live on stream whenever I get the GL Core box. I know everything inside that box already. It's a very, very good box. If you never actually picked up that box, definitely go on eBay and grab it. I've not seen it going higher than most places than $50. Buy it now. I don't know if you are a Green Lantern fan, but definitely pick it up. The Porg looks cute, but I'm not sure which pose they're going to have with the Porg. I'm assuming it's probably the mouth closed one with the wings at its side. Don't worry about it, man. Cowboy, don't worry about it. Brazil, hey, no problem. Don't worry about it. I'm an equal opportunity person here. I hold nothing against people at all. So don't worry about it. If your English is bad, type what you can. Don't worry about it. I hold nothing against anybody. Beloved, the horror pops. I have a few. I have several of the It's of the Pennywise. I have the Annabelle, I think she's called the puppet one. Best detailed pop. Ooh, that's a tough one. I have to think. Get back to you on that one. Best detailed pop is a hard toss up. I might say Commander Cody. I like the Commander Cody pop. I hate bobbleheads, but I love the way he looks. They sculpted the helmet. It looks just like the Commander Cody helmet, but we've seen on the actual big screen, on the action figures, it looks just like it. Him holding out the little Emperor hologram looks awesome. The head, even though it's a bobblehead, I have no issues with it. I can spin that head 360 with no problems. I put a video up, a small hunting video up on Sunday, Cowboy. It went up. If you want to take a look at it, you'll know if you see it. If you want to take a look at it after the stream, it's a big red background. It talks about the potential closing of all Toys R Us. There's actually a small hunt in that video where I go through the store. More for nostalgia for me than a physical toy hunt. I'll probably do one as soon as they're probably going to close their doors. I might do a finale toy hunt at Toys R Us. Make it a big event, which is probably what I'd wind up doing. The Pennywises are good. I never got the Chase Pennywise. If you guys were not familiar with the Chase Pennywise, that one was vaulted rather quickly, and that's why it went up in price so fast, is because they lost the license to that paint scheme of what it looked like. That's why it vaulted so fast. Which Oprah's? Oh, the Cowboy, I'm assuming you're talking Funko, right? If you're talking Funko, yeah. Cool. You can still get some decent deals if you're talking. I'm assuming you're talking Funko, Shocky Tie, or no, you're talking action figures. I think you're talking action figures. Savage Oprah's. Oh, Nick, I hear you on that, my friend. I've been looking for them. Definitely check BrickSeek. Get the DPI code for it, and get the. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. Hold on. Let's see if I can find that for you. Hold on. Give me 1 sec here. Let me do some research for you. Eric Killmonger. See if I can help you guys out here. Funko. If I can find it, I'll drop it in chat for you real quick here. If I can locate it real fast. Hopefully, I can find it pretty quickly. I don't know if they'll have it here. I may not be able to locate it quick. I'll get it inside the DPI. Yeah, I'll get it for you and put it in the those show notes. I'll talk about that there. I definitely want to get him. Oh, you're talking about the 3.75 figures. Okay, gotcha, Cowboy. I really like Nick. Take care, Cowboy. Thanks for coming in the chat, my friend. You can take a look at the VOD when it goes up. It's going to be about an hour long, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan. Nick, to answer your question, I'm hoping to get the glow-in-the-dark Target one. That's the one I really want, where he has both swords out. I want that because I actually did get my hands on the Walmart exclusive Black Panther one, the one that glows in the dark. So I want to have them as companion pieces to one another. I think they both look good. I think they look really nice. I want to get that Eric Killmonger. I've not been able to find it yet. I'm hoping to get my hands on it. That's what I've been really looking for, but I've not yet seen it in any location by me. I'm still on the hunt for it, actually. Just to answer your question. can't believe I can't find that stupid thing now. Now it's making me mad. I can't find the Killmonger one. I will find it. I'll put it in the show notes. Don't you worry. Yeah, the blue Black Panther. I like that. As I mentioned before, that the blue shouldn't have been blue. It should have been purple. That's the gimmick they have with the vibranium effect. If you're not familiar, people might not be big Marvel fans. I'm not a big Marvel fan, but I did a lot of research about this. Black Panther's suit, what it does is it absorbs kinetic energy. Meaning kinetic energy is something that strikes the suit, the suit absorbs the energy of it, and it has that purple glow effect. He's able to then take that energy he stored and discharge it at any given time. That's what he can normally do. That's how it actually would work. Move this up a little bit, move my chat up a little higher here because it's getting cut off. There we go. Perfect. 1 second here. Get my chat to refresh. There we go. I'm going to test the chat real quick, make sure the chat's still working. Perfect. Excellent. I had to sign it back into my chat. I guess it just timed me out. That's how it actually worked. It absorbed kinetic energy so he could discharge it whenever he wanted to do. It's very similar. It's sort of similar, actually. Hey, my friend. How's it going, AA? Excuse me. That's how it actually would work. It works very similar to the effect to Gambit. Gambit has the same sort of gimmicky effect. Instead of absorbing kinetic energy, he takes an object and he throws it and releases he's able to discharge kinetic energy and throw it to charge the item. That's what he does. What is my least favorite Funko Pop chase? Probably the Dark Crystal Kira Pop, I believe her name was. Only because the only real difference was sort of a slight change of the outfit color. And the Fezzik, the little creature's mouth, you had one that was open, one that was closed. I didn't think it was really chase worthy, in my opinion. The price is not that expensive for a chase either. I prefer DC over Marvel. I'm a DC guy. Plus, Marvel has the issue with the bobbleheads because of licensing. If you're not familiar why there are bobbleheads, excuse me, for that happened with Star Wars and Marvel, it's because there's a licensing issue that Funko has to address. They do not have the master license to make those sort of figures, the vinyl figures. That's why they have to sort of gimmick backdoor the way to make it work by making them bobbleheads. They do that with Star Wars, they do it with Marvel. No other properties has that problem. Everything works like a standard head that would spin around. Just to answer that question. To answer your next question, Nick, you're probably going to ask who's my favorite in DC. If you haven't followed my channel for a while, I'm a massive, massive, massive Green Lantern fan. Huge Green Lantern fan. I've been reading Green Lantern on and off. I was really, really into Green Lantern back in the 90s. I got in there when they're trying to shake the books up. And there was an issue why Hal Jordan was removed from Green Lantern. And they killed him off, basically. It's because the book sales were so low and so bad, they needed to shake the books up. Enter Ron Marz and Daryl Banks. Those are the artists and writers who actually created the Kyle Rayner character. That's my Green Lantern. People always ask me, who's my Green Lantern? It's actually Kyle Rayner. Cool. I think that's a standard size pop. I could be wrong, Nick, correct? I think it's standard size. I think he's translucent? I think he's translucent, like you see through him, right? I think. I could be wrong. And let me just plug this, because I know Admiral Akbar isn't here, my podcast partner here. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to plug our wrestling show. If you guys are not familiar, myself and Collecting and Hobbies, he's sitting in the chat right now with us. We do... Oops. Hold on, make sure I put that in correctly. 1 second. I'll get that to you in 1 second here. Hold on, make sure I grab this correctly. I don't want to put the wrong information in. Oops, right there. Hello. There it is. That is a link for our worldwide wrestling podcast. Myself and Collecting and Hobbies, we actually do a podcast for wrestling. That comes out, I would say, maybe once a month, whenever there's a WWE pay-per-view. Usually a few days later, him and I record a podcast on Buzzsprout. and we just did I believe we did an Elimination Chamber. Correct me if I'm wrong, Collecting Hobbies. I think we just did Elimination Chamber. Let me know in the chat. To answer your question, Ultimate, the next ones I'm going to be getting are going to be in the, yep, twice a month now. The Green Lantern Pop I'm getting is in the Collector's Core box. There is actually a 3-pack in that Collector's Core box, which I'll be doing a live unboxing for as soon as I get it. It may be about 2 to 3 weeks or so. They're shipping the box out to me in about a week or so. My box was unfortunately lost. If you guys came in late to the chat, my Collector's Core box for Green Lantern, it had to be the Green Lantern box, right? It had to be the Green Lantern box. Was lost. It said it was delivered to me. I checked. I've had packages sitting out overnight, and no one has taken them from my doorstep. So I don't think someone actually took it from me. I've had stuff that should have been delivered to, let's say, an avenue and went to a street, or vice versa. I've had it happen a lot to me. It usually happens with FedEx or UPS, never with USPS, United States Postal Service. It never happens. What's my favorite horror pop? I do like the Pennywise ones. I do think they look really, really cool. What pops would I want Funko to make? I would love them to make a Kyle Rayner pop. As I said, he's my Green Lantern. I think it'd be really, really cool to have that. I would love to see that happen. I'd like to see some more DC guys. I like to see some more DC guys that are not the norm. I'd like to see some of the B-listers or C-stringers, someone that is not your Batmans, your Supermans, your Wonder Womans. Give us some more unique characters, something different, something more unique. I hear you there. The Ghost Rider cycle comes in 2 variations. They have a normal version and a glow-in-the-dark version. If I had to pick one, they're both, I think, preview FX exclusives. I'm not sure exactly which one I would want. I think maybe glow-in-the-dark, just because it'd be different. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like, peeps like Easter peeps. Like the little yellow, pink guys. I'm assuming. They did do a couple Deathstrokes. I've seen several Deathstroke pops. Ones that are metallic, and which are preview FX exclusives, and ones that are not metallic, preview FX exclusives, which I believe they're screw-ups. Peeps would be cool. They are, if you guys are not aware, Funko does have a deal in place with these guys, right? Hold on, let me go and grab one. Hopefully I have one here. Let me grab my little... Yep, right here. With Pez. Funko has a deal in Pez right now that they're making Funkos with Pez. If you're not aware about it, they are going to be doing that in the near future. That's one of the new business lines they're doing. It's a special deal that they put together. So I thought it'd be kind of cool. Maybe getting a couple, literally it's like taking kind of like a pocket pop and putting it on a Pez dispenser. They do have some, Nick. They do have some. Not a whole lot. They have a decent, I would say less than decent amount, but they do have some video game stuff. I know Assassin's Creed. They've had some Warcraft stuff. No, not that I know of, MMG. Not that I know of. If you are wrestling fans, I believe in June or July, they are making Bullet Club pops. They did, Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks, did say they're going to be doing that. They do have God of War pops. They do have that. I got something from Cletus. Cletus Selden actually helped me set up the stream. He actually picked me up the She-Hulk. I wasn't, as I mentioned in last week's stream, unfortunately, because the stream got cut out last week, I was not really happy with ECC. This year's ECC, in my honest opinion, was nowhere close to last year's. Last year's ECC I thought was much, much better. Everyone was chasing down the Emerald Green Batman. That's what everyone wanted. I wanted one, but I know I couldn't get it. I tried to get it online when it went to the Funko store. It sold out in like less than 20 seconds. It was gone. They only had 1,500 pieces. It's selling between $400 and $500 right now. I think it's pretty sad. I wish it was a higher piece count, but unfortunately it's not. So, I mean, the only thing I really picked up, he actually picked it up for me, which was the She-Hulk. I picked up, myself, though, I actually got the Super Kermit from last year. I got the Dynamite and Blue Thunder, because I love the old school Dynamite and Blue Thunder. Unfortunately, my Dynamut box was not glued properly. I have to re-glue it. The screen is actually pushed in, so it's not in the greatest shape. The pop has no problem, but the box has to be re-glued a little bit, readjusted. Excuse me. And then I got a Emerald Crusader, I believe it was, because I got the ECC box from one of the subscription boxes back then. So I think it was Geek Fuel had an ECC box, so I got that. Let's see here. I do like the. I did get the Hot Topic Scorpion with the flaming skull. I did like that one. I didn't like the 2-pack, the one where Scorpion is frozen and Sub-Zero is on fire. I didn't like that one. I don't know why. It just looked weird. I didn't want to get it. Night King is very, very cool. Did you ever get the Batman pop in your rant video? No. OMG, I did not get it. I was not able to ever get that pop. I wasn't really looking for it anymore. I gave up trying to hunt down the black one. I would have liked to have gotten the black chrome one, but I never got my hands on one, unfortunately. Funko never sent me one. If you're watching, Funko, you owe me that black chrome one. You owe me that black chrome one, damn it. I have, the only Porg I have is the one with the wings out, the Target one. I do have that Porg. It's the only Porg I have. I was not a fan of The Last Jedi movie. I thought it was a horrible, horrible movie. There was so many plot holes, so many issues. Collecting Hobby and myself did a review with one other YouTuber. We did a full review of Last Jedi on the Last Jedi podcast. It was, in my opinion, not a good movie. I didn't like it. Oh, the dragon? But back, stream drop. Might have to get a new network adapter because it keeps dropping my internet connection. So I'll probably have to pick one of those up in a day or two. Sorry about that. I was able to recover the stream. So hopefully you guys can see me now. Oops. We're going. There we go. I was able to reestablish the stream. So I'm happy I fixed that problem. At least I know how to recover from it now. Give me a second here. I've got to get my other screen hooked up. Because it crashed. Here. One more second. I think I need to get a new network adapter because I think this network adapter is having problems. So I'm going to get a new network adapter. Because this one is just not cutting it. Keeps getting messed up. I think that one is horrible. Give me a second here to get the chat back up. I do apologize for that. I'm probably going to pick up a new network adapter in another day or so because this has messed up not once but twice on me. So I'm assuming there's an issue with my adapter. I will be getting a new one shortly. Probably another day or so. I'm going to get that right there. Get the chat back up. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I reestablished the chat. I wind up getting probably a new network adapter probably tomorrow because this is just ridiculous having it drop 2 weeks in a row. There's definitely something wrong with that network adapter, so I do apologize again. So I hope it doesn't happen. Let me get pack up. Yep, there we go. I was able to recover pretty quickly, actually. Yeah, I saw that Star Wars. I saw that AA. I saw that. How's it going, Tony? The stream got cut out again for about a minute or so. I was able to recover pretty quick this time since I know how to fix the problem. Once again, looks like my network adapter is the problem, so I'm going to wind up getting a replacement probably tomorrow. This is getting ridiculous. I've had it drop 2 weeks in a row, especially during a stream, and that's unacceptable, and you guys shouldn't deal with that, so I'm going to fix that problem tomorrow definitely. I do apologize again. Let's see, where were we at here? We talked about the Night King stuff. We had, let's see here, Let Pop Hold, GameStop, Tuxedo Cat. I think that's an anime, an old school anime. How's it going, Tony? Uh, Before you get it fixed, Tony, take a look maybe at a GameStop for a used one. If you can get it a used one cheaper than the repair cost, you might want to think about that possibly. Save you money. My favorite Pop action figure I own. I do like my Boba Fett from the Black Series 6-inch scale. I do not have that opened. It is still sealed. It's mint on card. About $100 US right now as far as the stream goes. Um, I don't know any other action figure which is as good. I do like that one. Probably just for nostalgia's sake, I do like the Darkhawk, Marvel Legends, because I'm a big Darkhawk fan, which is very similar to, let's say, it has sort of a Green Lantern-esque feel to it. But he's more of a B-rated, C-rated hero. Someone that's not normally no one even knows really who Darkhawk is. Oh, cool, gentlemen. I've not yet seen him. I've seen the normal version, but not the chase. So that's definitely something. He looks really, really good, but I've not yet seen the actual chase in the flesh yet. But definitely, Tony, take a look before you spend the money for the repair, if you can. Maybe even contact Xbox to see if they can repair it for you. They might have even a deal in place where you can, if you might have a warranty, you might have a deal covered. You might not even know it. So definitely check with them first. It probably still open, Tony, I'm assuming. Since you came into the stream a little later, as far as I know, the stores have not yet closed. If you want to take a look at the VOD beginning here when it goes up, they mentioned that they're going to go into bankruptcy court. That's the last thing they've talked about. Stores are still open as far as I know, at least for right now. Any other questions, guys? Hit me up. At least it's stable. Yep, Faker. I know that he was a Target exclusive. Of course, he's basically just a repaint of He-Man, which is basically what Faker is. If you're not familiar with He-Man, he is the He-Man clone, so to speak. He was actually in the cartoon, but in the cartoon, back in the original Filmation one, he was a normal colored person, just with glowing eyes. He looked like He-Man with flashing eyes. That was the only difference. He wasn't blue. They actually made the toy blue. Yep, they will be closing most likely, unless they get a lender or reorganization of their debt. Right now, it's not doing good. OMG, I used to play PS4 a lot. I used to play The Division all the time. I used to play Shadows of War, which was the first of the Lord of the Rings games. I had that one. I haven't even turned my PS4 on in probably 3 years, to be quite honest. I haven't played anything really. I like RPGs, old school RPGs. I used to play World of Warcraft all the time. I just don't have the time to do that now. Me and my girl actually picked up a Super Nintendo Classic, the little box. We actually have that. We've been playing some Mario Kart, some Mario World, and some Yoshi's Island, just for nostalgia's sake, because we really like it. So it's very, very fun. Yep, Tony, I'm going to. Myself and Admiral Akbar. If you are a wrestling fan, Tony, I'll drop it in the chat here for you. Myself and Collecting and Hobbies do a wrestling podcast. It's now twice a month. We usually do it after a pay-per-view. The latest one just went up about a day ago, I want to say, and that was for Elimination Chamber. We'll be doing a breakdown of the actual WrestleMania event next month, which is what we always do. We always do sort of recaps of pay-per-views. He handles, Collecting Hobby handles the WWE side of the actual portion of wrestling. I handle the independent stuff. Your Ring of Honor, your New Japan news, your vintage WWE, your old school WWE stuff. I'll talk about WCW stuff. Anything that's really not WWE, I actually talk about. That's what I usually handle. I kind of have the age there to talk about it, because I know I used to watch wrestling, and I still do, years and years ago. I used to watch it when ECW was around. I actually flew up to Philadelphia for one of the Cyber Slam conventions back in the late 90s. So it was very, very fun going to ECW Arena. That's something that is not normal. Normally people don't actually go to the ECW Arena. So it was very, very fun. Very, very fun. Hey, MYC, how's it going, sir? If you came into the chat a little late, we're doing some Q&A stuff. The stream crashed again. I'm going to be most likely picking up a new network adapter tomorrow. I think that's an issue with that network adapter. That's 2 times in 2 weeks it's crashed on me. Inside the stream, actually, so I'm going to be going and get a new network adapter. I think there's a problem with that one. So, I mean, it keeps cutting out on me. Since I'm using Wi-Fi, it's not connected with an Ethernet cable. It's connected via Wi-Fi, so that could happen. Ew, gross. What's a con I want to go to? If I had to pick a con I want to go to, it's really, really easy. I definitely want to go to San Diego Comic-Con. I want to go to SDCC. It's on my bucket list. It's something I want to eventually do before I die, to be quite honest. I want to shoot video there. I want to shoot cosplay there. I've always wanted to go to San Diego Comic-Con. The problem is getting tickets. It's extremely expensive. If you're looking at, let's say, a 4-day package for yourself, you're looking at about $2,000, about $2,000, about, give or take. Excuse me, for a 4-day pass. Usually, you're looking at a single day between $400 and $500 for a single day pass. San Diego Comic-Con is an extremely big event. It is probably one of the biggest comic events. So it's a whole thing. Basically, San Diego basically closes down for San Diego Comic-Con. That's how big and important that convention really is. Yep, we're going to be doing, next week we're going to be doing Fastlane review. I didn't talk to Collecting Hobbies about it yet, but I thought it was an okay event. I thought going into it would be much worse. But it was actually an okay event. I'm probably going to be getting the WWE Network for WrestleMania. It's very difficult to watch it using third-party means to watch a pay-per-view. It's extremely annoying. I don't mind paying the $10 a month to get, WrestleMania and lots of old-school content. The old Monday Night Wars, I used to love that stuff. Oh, talking Tom. Yeah, OMG, I can understand why you don't like it. People love the Attitude Era stuff. I love the Attitude Era stuff. Attitude Era was really good because it gave competition to wrestling. There was this huge competition between WWE and WCW. That's where this back and forth, and they wanted to one-up each other. It was more sensationalism on TV. It was very like Girls Gone Wild stuff in that respect. But there is no real competition now since WCW's gone and there's no more competition that way. The only company that's really giving WWE a run for its money is New Japan Pro Wrestling, is NJPW. Who's my favorite wrestler back in the day? If you ask me back in the day, it has to be probably Curt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect to me was probably one of the best wrestlers in the world when it came to pure wrestling. I loved Mr. Perfect. I thought he was so cool back in the day. If you want my honest opinion. If you ask me, I would say late 80s, early 90s. If you ask me in the 90s, everyone loved Stone Cold mainly because of the interviews and what he did in the ring. It was just funny stuff. Best segment, I would say in the Attitude Era would be 2 segments. It would be the supermarket brawl between Stone Cold and Booker T. I loved watching that brawl. I watched it actually a few days ago, just for nostalgia's sake. I absolutely loved that brawl. It was really, really cool. And, of course, Mr. McMahon, when he was inside the hospital. And Mick Foley went to see him. And, of course, Stone Cold jumped him. Very, very cool. Loved that. Which was funny, speaking of Mick Foley, at SuperCon last... Actually, it was at Magic City Comic Con, which was in December of 2017. Mick Foley showed up for the FSCW, which was Florida Championship, cosplay wrestling. It's actually guys that are dressed up in cosplay wrestling. So it's actually guys that are trained wrestlers in a wrestling ring. Let's say dressed up as, Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball Z. There's a guy dressed up like Bane. There's a girl dressed up like Evelyn. There's a girl dressed up as Rey from Star Wars. And they're actually wrestling. Mick Foley actually came down and got involved in one of the matches, which was really, really cool. I was really, really happy to see Mick. It was really, really cool seeing him. As soon as his music hit, I was like, no! And my girl was, clapping like crazy, because she remembers Mick Foley. She watched wrestling back in the 90s. Stuff with The Rock, stuff with Stone Cold. That was great stuff. I hear you on that one. I was about to say that as well, Tony. I loved Jake the Snake Roberts. Of my 2 favorite wrestlers would be Curt Hennig and Jake Roberts. Jake was so good on the mic. He was probably one of the best guys when it came to promos on the mic. And he was one of the few guys that had a legitimate finishing move. A lot of times back then, they really didn't have finishers in the late 80s into the, I would say, late 80s. He had the DDT, and the DDT was his move. He invented the DDT. If you're not aware, Jake the Snake Roberts invented the DDT hold. Everyone uses it as a transitional hold now, but he actually created the DDT. He actually created it by accident. He tripped over a wrestler, which was a masked wrestler, and he drove his head in the ground, and he called it the DDT. So that's what he actually came from. Yep, they did, especially Hell in a Cell, when Mick got pitched off the top of the cage, which was just completely insane. When Mick was, Mankind was getting the chair shots from The Rock, basically rattled his brain. I mean, that was some stiff chair shots back then. That's why there's no chair shots now, and the concussion syndrome, all the concussion stuff they have in WWE, that's why they don't do that sort of stuff now. Yep, he got arrested. We're definitely going to talk about that. Collecting hobbies. Definitely going to talk about that in the next podcast we do. We have to bring that up. Absolutely. I don't know why Jeff Hardy can't keep his nose clean, or he can't having this erratic behavior, which is just sad because Jeff is such a talented guy. I don't know why he keeps falling off the rails. I couldn't tell you the reason why he does what he does. I don't know. I don't get it. So I couldn't give you an answer there. So I'm not quite sure. Internet is still holding up well. So yeah, again, apologies for the stream cutting out again. I'm going to be picking up a new network adapter. Hopefully that should fix the issue once and for all. I think there's an issue with that adapter. It keeps failing. I liked Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior was I would put him in the same type of category as sort of like a Brock Lesnar, where he was an attraction. He was interesting to watch. Very similar to Brock, where he had a very limited moveset and he would burn out real quick. He wouldn't have more than 5-10 minute matches. He couldn't go longer than that. But again, Ultimate Warrior was sort of in that sort of a genre. But I do love wrestling. No, I agree. I agree that they're probably going to keep it kind of under the radar. I know that one of the Usos, it was Jay Uso, not Jimmy. It was Jay Uso out of DWI as well. So he came back, and I thought the Usos would have lost the belt months ago. They didn't. Very, very good match with New Day. We'll talk about that on the podcast probably in a few days when we actually shoot that video, or shoot the podcast rather. We're going to be talking about that in length. I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view all in all. You're very, very lucky, NYC. I've never been to a WrestleMania. They had one in Miami a few WrestleManias ago, which I think it was the one with the roller coaster theme. I think that might have been in the Miami area. I could be wrong. I never went to a WrestleMania. I always wanted to go to a WrestleMania, but I've never been to one. So, yeah. Definitely would like to go to one. I would love to eventually get an AJ signature. Since I've never gotten one yet, I'd love to get one maybe on a pop or get a framed picture. Something along those lines I think would be very, very cool. I know they sell a lot of framed plaques in the WWE shop. I thought it would be very, very cool to have one of those. But I've never gotten anything signed by AJ. I do have a wrestling signature. There was a guy in the Headbangers. I think it was Mosh from the Headbangers. He actually is a friend of my sister's. And he actually is still wrestling in the South Florida area, and he gave me a couple signed stuff. So it was very, very cool meeting him. No problem, gentlemen. We'll be on for another at least 15 more minutes. Yeah, I know. I really wish I would have went when it was there. I kicked myself in the ass for not going there. Especially there was a Ring of Honor event in Fort Lauderdale last year, and the entire Bullet Club was there. Kenny Omega was there, the Bucks were there, Marty Scurll was there, Hangman Page was there. I wish I would have went. I remember Doink, absolutely. And there was actually multiple people who played Doink. Not just one guy. There was multiple people in the suit. If you were curious. But I do remember Doink. I do remember a lot of the old school wrestling. I'm a fan of the old school wrestling. I like the old school stuff. Is it better? the stuff now? Not necessarily. It's in its own genre. Wrestling has evolved. Unfortunately, people like Jim Cornette live back in the old school. Hello, Jonathan. How's it go? Thanks for coming into the stream. We came back from a recovery here after the stream died on me. If you guys who just jumped into the stream, if you didn't see it yet, I did pick this guy up in my video. I talked about him yesterday, which is the Gypsy Avenger for Bandai. This is a highly articulated figure. Pretty cool design. This is not NECA. This is Bandai. This is highly articulated, highly detailed figure. I'll pull back so you can see it a little better. A lot of glare. I do apologize. Really neat figure. I think it's pretty cool. 20 bucks for this guy. I would think that'd be more expensive. I watched the first hour of it. I'll be watching it on DVR later. Yes, collecting hobbies. We know your Alexa fascination. I watched about the first hour of Raw, about give or take. The stuff they're doing with Roman again. They're trying everything in their power to get Roman over. They're trying to making Brock seem like utter crap. They're trying their damnedest to get him over. The reason why Brock is not showing up is not because technically he doesn't want to show up. He's really, one of the things that Roman did say is absolutely true. He is hiding behind his contract. Brock Lesnar has fulfilled all the dates on his contract already. For him to fill more dates, meaning they got to pay him more money. That's why he's not showing up for events like this. This is why he didn't show up at Elimination Chamber. These are the reasons why they're not willing to pay more money for Brock to do this. And he's not necessarily just running around town with Dana White, which is really what he was doing, but he wasn't obligated to show up at Raw or on a pay-per-view. The DX stuff with Mike Tyson was really good. I think one of the best things I saw, which was for Raw 25, for the 25th anniversary Raw, I hated the show. The only thing I really liked about the Raw 25, and I bring this up, OMG, because of the comment you made, is because the video package they had. I loved the video package they did when the song was playing. I thought it was really, really cool opening package. And they had the DX stuff where Mike Tyson shoving Stone Cold. I thought that was really, really cool. I love that piece. I love that intro package they did. I thought it was very, very cool. I wouldn't doubt it. Right now, I would say next to, like, not necessarily in-ring work, but mic work, I think she's probably one of the best women on the mic. Easily. Easily one of the best women on the mic. In the ring? No. No. Not at all. I don't think she's the best in the ring. Best on the mic? Yes. Yeah, I'm going to be doing another Rook 180. The two ones that are probably going to be in the next round of voting is going to be the Aliens Titan Vinyl and the Stranger Things Funko box. I think that would be a good competition. I got that out of the Collector's Case subscription box. I'm going to pick up one more of each of them, so I'll have two of each. I think that would be a good round of competition. I think that would be a very close race. You have Aliens against Stranger Things. I think that'd be kind of tough. You have kind of a horror element between the two, so I think that'd be kind of cool as well. So I think that'd be very, 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 very cool to do something like that. I'm not sure what's going to be on the line for that one. I haven't decided yet for what the prize is going to be for that particular round of Rook 180. But those are probably going to be those two ones that are going to go up probably about a week, maybe a week and a half or so when I want to shoot that particular video. I got to pick up one more of each. I've seen the Stranger Things blind box. I've not yet seen an extra Titan vinyl. I think I have to go to Tate's Comics to get that one. What else, guys? Hit me up. Oh, one thing I'll let you guys know, I am working on a special project with Javier Lugo. He's a guy I talked about in the video when I went to the convention, the Revolution Con. Him and I are working on a small project, a couple things him and I are working on. One of the he is doing a drawing for me. He's penciling and inking it. He might be locating a colorist for me. It's going to be a new piece of art I want to put up on the channel. He's going to help me putting up some banners. We're going to do some projects together. One of my goals, which I want to do for maybe smaller conventions, not the big cons, but maybe a small con, like the Revolution Con, is to get a booth there and to have a big screen TV and do all Rook 180 stuff. I'll probably do giveaways there. I'll probably plug the channel there. Just to increase my footprint, get my name out there more. As I said before, hey, how's it going, gentlemen? Glad to have you back, sir. As I said many times, I don't make any money on YouTube. I've lost all my monetization now. This is not a money grab. Guys don't think that this is some type of money grab at all. I just want to do something different. A lot of YouTubers, especially let's say toy hunters or Funko reviewers or subscription boxers, they don't do conventions at all. At least in the South Florida area, they don't do anything at all. So I'm definitely going to do that. Are you taking off, Tony? No problem, sir. Glad to come in for a little bit. That's awesome. Again, apologies for the stream cutting out. Hopefully that will be resolved probably tomorrow. I'll probably go to Best Buy tomorrow and pick up a new network adapter because this thing is just... It's cut out on me twice in 2 weeks. So I think it's the network adapter, not my PC. Even if my PC happened to crash, or the stream, or the encoder, which is OBS, if that would have crashed, it wouldn't have killed my network connection. My network adapter died. I had to reboot it, basically, and to cut the stream and restart it. So that's what happened there. Again, apologies to anyone in the stream that had to cut out. At least it was a quick recovery. I didn't have to... I saw this happen last week, so I was able to scramble and fix it. So I knew how to fix it. It does happen. I know a lot of streamers who have this occur. They can't control it. This is live, real-time stuff. You can't control your internet. You can't control your power. Are we talking on the... You said best in-ring on Raw? If you're asking who's best in ring and Raw, if you're talking from a pure technical background, I do like Seth. I think Seth right now is probably one of the best in ring guys. Miz is good, but he's very safe in the ring. He doesn't do a lot of crazy spots. He's probably better on the mic than Seth. Miz is great on the mic. Best work we've ever seen him. Tough call. Tough call, gentlemen. It all depends. Are you talking one alien versus one predator? If the predator knows where the alien is, it's a one and done fight. The predator would always win. If you're talking in a confined area and there's multiple aliens, then it's a different question. If the predator got the drop on the alien, the predator will always win. He can just snipe him from a distance. Best female in the ring? I wouldn't say Sasha. I wouldn't say Bailey. I would say probably... I do like Asuka. Because I'm a big fan of submission stuff. I always like submission, especially stuff like arm bars, leg locks, heel hooks, things like that. Probably the best in-ring right now for men is got to be AJ. AJ is probably one of the best wrestlers when it comes to pure wrestling in the ring. He is this generation's Shawn Michaels when it comes to pure athleticism and pure wrestling work rate. If you want my honest opinion. That's what I think. I do like Nakamura. The problem is with Nakamura is his moveset is very predictable. This is the same type of moveset he had in New Japan Pro Wrestling. You gotta love Cena. But there was a match. If you guys are not familiar, I'll give you guys some knowledge real quick here before we cut the stream. Nakamura had a match in, I believe it was Wrestle Kingdom 10 against John Cena. Excuse me, not John Cena. Nakamura against AJ Styles. There was one match they had. It was Nakamura and AJ Styles in WrestleMania, in Wrestle Kingdom 10. Wrestle Kingdom is New Japan Pro Wrestling's equivalent to WrestleMania. It's their biggest event of the year. It happens in January, every single year. There was one match. I agree, AA. There was one match they had, and Nakamura beat AJ in that match. It was a very, very hard-hitting, really cool match. If you've never seen it, definitely look it up on, let's say, YouTube or Daily Motion. It was a very, very good match. I absolutely loved that match. Very, very cool match. Definitely worth seeing if you've never seen it before. I would probably watch that match first, mainly to get a feeling what this match could be. If they're allowed to do what they can really do, if they're allowed time, you got to give them time. You got to give them at least 30 minutes in the ring. You got to give AJ and Nakamura at least 30 minutes in the ring. That's going to be the dream match that everybody wants to see. That's going to be the big match, in my opinion, of WrestleMania. So that's going to be about it, guys. I want to thank everyone for coming into the stream. I do apologize again for the stream locking up and crashing. I will be getting a new network adapter tomorrow. That is the issue, it looks like. I have now pinpointed a problem with the stream, and that's going to be addressed. I will be getting a new network adapter most likely tomorrow. I want to thank everyone who came into the stream, and we're going to be cutting the stream in a second. Any other questions I can nail down in the next 2 minutes or so? Hit me up real quick. Anything else you guys want me to talk about? Going once? Going twice? I think that's it, boys and girls. I think that's it. I want to thank everyone who came into the stream, if they jumped in. Those who came and left, I want to thank you guys as well. Definitely take a look at the VOD when it comes in. And definitely take a look at the Buzzsprout, which is Worldwide Wrestling Podcast. Myself and Collecting and Hobbies do that. Plug it one more time if you guys were curious. There is the link to it again. If you want to take a look at it, you're more than welcome to. So again, I want to thank everybody who came into the stream. Take care, guys. I'm going to be cutting the stream in 3, 2, 1. And we're going down, boys and girls. Thank you very much for your time.